Hi, welcome to PictureThisNewMedia. My name is Halal Ernie. This is my new comic book day haul recommendations for February the 22nd, 2023. With this, we're going to get started right away. This first thing right here, this first section, these first three I'm going to skip. Let me know if I'm missing anything out on the Flash or the Nightwing. I'm not very a big fan of the Flash, and I know that this Amazing Spider-Man, this arc and these writers and everything, they're doing a disservice to the Amazing Spider-Man titles, so I don't like it at all. Nightwing, I don't know if I'm missing out on. So yeah, let me know in the comments if I'm missing out on any of these ones. Saga issue number 62, I highly recommend, and I think it's part of a new arc that's going on. I haven't quite caught up to this part yet. I've been really busy lately, but I'm catching up on a lot of things that I've missed out on. Next up is, and this one's definitely something to catch up on and get. Next up is World's Finest, Batman, Superman. I'm gonna skip. I don't know anything about it. Issue number 12. Thor number 31. I'm gonna skip. Not really a Thor fan. Not really into Marvel or DC very much. There's certain ones that I like, but most of them I don't. Wonder Woman, I guess it's a Valentine's issue, issue 796. I'll do a hard pass on that. Not a fan of Wonder Woman. Something's Killing the Children by Boom Studios, issue number 29. I'm gonna highly recommend, and I'm going to get as well. I kind of recommend waiting for the graphic novels on these ones because they come out and they're just so good that you know you're gonna like most of them. So yeah, I recommend this one. Depending if you want to get graphic novels, the floppies, or both. The trade paperbacks in it. Next up is She-Hulk, issue number 10. I'm going to do a hard pass on that. This cover looks awful. Superman, issue number 1, Dawn of DC. Man of Steel is back in action. Oh, so it... Let's see, Superman has returned to the Metropolis. Clark Kent, so he is back. He's under Joshua Williams. Let's see here. Everybody's saying... There's some rough criticism, but nobody's said anything towards it, so I can see why. Well, I'll recommend this one. Let me know if it's good. I'm not gonna get it personally, but I do recommend this. It looks interesting. see if he actually has returned. Next up is Catwoman, issue number 52. I'm gonna skip. Deadpool, issue number 4. I recommend it, but I'm gonna skip it. I heard that it actually took a turn, so I don't know. I like the first one, but not this one. Carnage, issue number 10. I do recommend. I love the Spider-Verse. I love Carnage. I love Venom. Those ones really stuck in my mind as personal favorites when it comes to Marvel and DC. So yeah, this one I highly recommend. Next one is Batman: One Bad Day by Clayface, with Clayface in it. Looks like it's got a 5 out of 5 rating so far. All Basil Carlo ever wanted to be all he ever wanted to be was an act. All Basil ever wanted to be was an actor. One of the greatest actors there has ever been. However, his life went off course when he became the shape-shifting monster known as Clayface after doing battle with Batman in Gotham City, distancing himself from his dream. Clayface goes to West Los Angeles, creating a new identity. He pursues his dream of acting, only to find that Gotham City isn't the only place with an overwhelming sense of dread to it. I mean, it sounds good. It sounds good. If I was a fan of Clayface and DC, I would see getting this. I'm going to put it on the pull list. If I have enough money, I'll get it. If not, I won't. Fair enough. Next up by Marvel is Immortal X-Men, issue number 1. Adored and respected, they said the mutants were humanity's future. It's 10 years later, and they were proven to be right. X-Men exist in the world that adores and respects them. So why are they sworn to crush it? But while they do, Emma can take a few minutes to crush Mr. Sinister. If I knew the Sin's a Sinister thing, I might pull it, but I don't know, it's just not something that I care for, really. I'm gonna skip it. Next up is DC's War of Undead Gods, issue number 6. I don't know what it's about. It looks cool enough though, and I hear there's a lot of hype, so I'm gonna recommend this to my viewers. Next up is Monstrous, issue number 43 by Image Comics. I'm gonna pull the series of this one even though I'm far behind. Something I highly recommend. The cartoon, the art is amazing. It's a great style. The story is totally awesome, epic fantasy setting with kids with cat ears and stuff. It's great. I actually like this one. They got really cool superpowers. They go through a lot of crazy shit. I highly recommend it. I gotta catch up. I really gotta catch up with this one. Next up is Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man, issue number 5. This one is actually, I do recommend, and it's not bad. Very cool story, very insane twists, cool demon bearer. I really highly recommend it. Next up is Lazarus Planet Omega by DC Comics. Nezza and the King Firebolt. I'm gonna skip this one. Fate and Fury. The devil Nezza and his son are at war with all humanity caught in the middle. Lazarus storms are intensifying worldwide. Earth's superheroes are on ropes, and Batman is living on borrowed time. So I really do like these things that happen, but I don't like in the Scorch comics. But that's because I understand and know most of those characters. I don't know most of these ones or understand the motivations behind most of them. So if you like the motivation, if you understand the motivations behind a lot of these characters, then you might like it. John Kent's in it, so I'm not sure how much people will like it, but it's got Darkseid in it. It's a good way to sell it. It's got Green Lantern. It's got Spectre. So it's got a few ones that I recognize. It's got, unfortunately, Flash. So yeah, and unfortunately Supergirl, but you know it has the ability to be good. It's got Blue Beetle in it as well, making a cameo. So it might be worth it. It might be worth it to DC fans. It's a one shot, but I don't know. Not my cup of tea. Next up is Dr. Arfa by Star Wars and Marvel Comics. I'm going to skip. The same thing with Yoda. I'm going to skip. I will recommend. I won't recommend it, but let me know if I'm missing out on the Dr. Afra or the Yoda series. I don't really think I am though. Yeah. Next up is Ice Cream Man by Image Comics. I recommend it. It's pretty decent comic book. I'm not caught up with it, and it's on my to-do list, but it's not really one of my priorities. I'll put it on the pull list. Well, you know what? Nah, I won't put it on the pull list. Next up is Scorched by Image Comics, issue number 15, like I was talking about. It's got Spawn, it's got a whole bunch of cool characters hanging out with Spawn. Wish I had them because I can't think of them. I'm a little too medicated right now. Next up is Savage Avengers, issue number 10 by Marvel Comics. I am going to skip, but I do recommend to Avengers fans. The Savage series is usually really cool, and I like the way they make the characters go into dark places and deal with some real stuff. Next up is Strange Academy Finals, issue number 4. I'm gonna skip. I'm not gonna recommend it. Black Adam, issue number 8. I'm gonna skip. I'm not gonna recommend it either. Junkyard Joe, issue number 5. I might get it, and I do highly recommend it. It's very wonderful story told through a soldier, a veteran, a combat vet that has PTSD. So I definitely can appreciate the sentiments of what is behind this kind of story. It's wonderful that he took his time out of his life to write this and share his story with the world. Next up is Doctor Strange, Fall Sunrise. I'm gonna skip. Sabretooth, I'm gonna skip. Superman, I'm gonna skip. Planet Hulk, I'm gonna skip. Let me know if I'm missing anything on these ones, but I'm not really into any of these, but let me know if you are and if they are worth going over and reviewing, because I will do that for you guys. Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain. I can tell from here without even opening it, I'm not gonna like it or recommend it to my fans. But we'll see what it's about, because I could be wrong. But with her as the writer, I really doubt I am. Captain comes home and she's on a whole new mission. The otherworld is settled, Braddock Manor restored, and Captain Avalon is at her side. You'd think things look pretty good for Betsy Braddock, only it turns out that good old Britain doesn't want her back. No one wants a mutant menace carrying the shield of a Captain Britain. Yeah, so I don't know. Seems Tina Howard's got some clout, but I don't think she's gonna do a good job. Next up is Titans United Blood Pack. I am going to skip, but I do recommend it to Titans fans. Harley Quinn, the animated series, Legion of Bats. I'm going to do a hard pass. There's a lot of agenda in there and so little story. It's really god awful. Damn Them All by Boom Studios. I am going to recommend, but I'm going to skip personally. It's just not a story that stuck out to me very well, but I could see how it could stick out to a lot of people that watch my videos. This one's a really good indie one, and I do highly recommend it. Next one is Gargoyles, issue number 3 by Disney and Dynamite. I'm going to recommend, especially to Gargoyles fans. It's actually decent artwork and decent story, so yeah, I need to catch up. I've only read issue number 1, but it hooked me in. Next up is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, issue number 3. I'm not a fan, but I'll recommend it to the Turtles and Power Rangers fans, but not my cup of tea. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, issue number 4. It's a really great fantasy, really weird, but I like it. I highly recommend it, and put it on my pull list. Next up is Blue Book by Dark Horse Comics, from the New York Times. That's what he calls true weird stories, tales of ordinary people encountering the strange and impossible, teaming up with artist Avon, and they retell some of the most popular UFO and alien encounters. Oh, sweet! I am very excited for this. This sounds awesome. I hope this is available. I will get this one for sure. It's $4.99, but small price to pay for some good content. Next up is Black Cloak, issue number 2 by Image Comics. I'm going to pull the series of this one. It was actually very decent, very good story, very great art, and yeah, I really like this one a lot. Next one is Philadelphia, Image Comics. Highly recommend it. I'm going to skip it myself because I'm not caught up, but I do recommend it. This one, this Radiant Pink, if you're a Radiant Red, Radiant Black fan, you might like this one, but it goes a little bit off the cuff from those two, and I'm not really digging it, but I will recommend it to the Radiant fans. Punisher War Journal, I'm gonna do a hard pass. I heard some really awful things about this one. I'm not even gonna give it the courtesy of giving the number 1 checkout. It's just awful what they did. Next up is Darkwing Duck, issue number 2. I'm going to recommend and get. Spawn Unwanted Violence, I'm going to get issue number 2 as well. Gotham City Police Department, The Blue Wall, issue number 5. I'm going to skip, and I don't know, I'm not really a fan of cop stuff. Just my personal thing. Lovesick, issue number 5. I do recommend. It's pretty intense, but I'm going to skip it because I'm not caught up with it. Specs, issue number 4. I'm going to recommend, by Boom Studios, but I'm going to skip it. It just wasn't something that interested me, but I could see it interesting my fan base. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. Local Man by Image Comics, $3.99. Stray Dogs creator, revival. Once the star recruit of the media sensation Super Team 3rd Gen, Jack Xavier had it all, but when a controversy sends Jack crawling back to his mom in his dad's basement in the Midwest, Jack struggles to fit into the world he's left behind, and then bodies start piling up. Ooh. Sounds interesting. Very interesting. I think I'll give that a shot if I have the money. Inferno, Red Girl by Image Comics. I forgot what the one was all about. It's $5.99. I might skip it, but it looks really cool. Looks really cool. Your school, new relationship, possible change, your moves, big moves. Yeah, I'll recommend it, but I think I might skip it for right now. Next up is Tiger Division. Yeah, I'll recommend this one. I'll get it on the pull list. Next up is Tiger Division. I'm gonna skip Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures, The Nameless. Wait, what? The Nameless Terror. Even in the shining light of the High Republic, there are shadows lurking in the galaxy. A Jedi mission to the planet Dalna suddenly becomes under attack by unknown assailants. As the knights retreat to an ancient structure, it quickly becomes clear they are far from safe. Something evil stalks the ruins. A ruthless predator, a unknown terror, a nameless fear. That sounds interesting enough, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if George Mann has had what it takes. He's done Doctor Who. Not really a fan of Doctor Who. Dragon Age. He's always done I don't know if that's good enough. I don't know. Let me know. If I have enough money, I might get this one, but it's not something that I'm going to be jumping to get. So let me know if this is good. Next up is Marvel's Peter Parker Double Trouble. I'm going to skip that thing. Plush I'm going to get, and I highly recommend it to my viewers. Ronin Book 2, issue number 2 by Frank Miller and Image Comics. I highly recommend it, and if I had the extra cash, I will get it. Earth Divers issue number 5, garbage, skip it. Magic Order issue number 2 by Image Comics. I highly recommend it. It's actually a very cool series that I kind of want to catch up on and get to reading. Man, there's a lot. Next up is Barbaric, Hell to Pay issue number 2. I'm going to recommend and get it if I get the chance. Hellboy in Love, I'm going to skip it. Undiscovered Country, I'm going to skip it, but I do recommend these ones. The ones, I'm going to skip it as well, but I do recommend it. We don't need to do previews. Dune, The House of Harkonnen, I'm going to get it, and I highly recommend it. 20th Century Men, I am going to skip it, but I do highly recommend it. It's a really great story. The Witcher, Ballad of Two Wolves, I highly recommend it, and definitely look forward to reading that one. Boogeyman by Ablaze Comics, I'm going to wait for the trade paperback because my local comic book shop stopped carrying it, but I do recommend it, and yeah, it's a great story. I love Ablaze Publishing. Star Trek, so I'm going to skip. Year Zero, Volume 0, issue number 5, I'm going to skip. It's by AWA, but I do recommend it if you're into zombie stuff. Vampirella Strikes, issue number 10, I highly recommend it. Draculina, Blood Simple, issue number 1. Vampirilla's hateful, self-absorbed twin is back in a new volume and this time vampire privilege entitlement is failing as her vampirette, her preteen other self has become a literal mirror image of the life that she could have had and person she should have become if it wasn't for, Draculina. Also, Lilith has returned, and the meddling vampire. This sounds really interesting. I love the Draculina's storyline. I love the art. She's basically the American comic book waifus, one of them. Dynamite Entertainment has a lot of them. So yeah, I'll recommend that one, and I might get it. There's so much good stuff. Grim Tales, issue number 69. I recommend it to all my viewers. Valiant, Book of Shadows, issue number 4. I am going to recommend and possibly get if I have enough money left over. God, there's so much. Eek. Next up is Vineyard, issue number 4. I'm going to skip it. It's not really my cup of tea. Voyages, issue number 4 by Image Comics. I'm going to skip it as well, but it's good for teens to get into. I'll give it that, but it's definitely not for me. preteens, I'd say. I don't think we're gonna get this one in my comic book shop. Dead Mall issue number 4, I'm gonna skip, but I recommend it. It's actually, I heard it was alright. Liquid Kill by Whatnot Publishing. Liquid Kill, a sadist, slaughtering vigilantes as they can encounter pure evil in a blood-soaked cyberpunk future. For the staff and clientele of a mysterious island hotel, it's just another night of luxury and vice until members of the Liquid Kill lay siege, demanding compliance or death as they gather intelligence and adrenaline quickly floods the halls as the team eliminates all threats with ease. I'll give that a pull if I have enough money. But yeah, I'll definitely recommend this one. Immortal Sergeant, I didn't really dig it, so I'm not gonna recommend it to my my fans or my viewers if I even have fans. I love you all if you are out there. I really do. I appreciate the views, appreciate the likes, appreciate the subs. Next up is My Hero Academia. Recommend that one, of course. Gru, Gods Against Gru. I'll recommend it if you're a Gru fan. I'm just not. It's not for me. Ninja Funk by Whatnot Publishing. They stopped carrying that one at my comic book shop, but I do recommend it. Rick and Morty issue number 2. I'm gonna skip all Rick and Morty's from now on. Dragon Age: The Missing issue number 2. I'm going to recommend and get if I have enough money. God Fell by Vault Comics. One sunny day in the land of Karameth, God falls dead from the sky. The impact sends out shockwaves. Just by this drawing alone, I know I'm not gonna like this. Skip it. Rick and Morty, Crisis on C-137, skip. Banshee by Scout Comics. Scout usually can deliver. Emily is entering her first year of college, looking to reinvent herself after the loss of her best friend. But when she discovers the terrible history of her dormitory, she channels her guilt into a new obsession. Discovering the truth, the Lion, a serial killer that stalked her college campus for nearly a decade, but old ghosts can lay dormant for only so long. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sounds good. I'm gonna put that on the pull. Scout, like I said, usually delivers, except for when it comes to Forever 4. Not really my cup of tea. I'm gonna skip that one. But Dead Seas by IDW. If you really want, if you're lacking on horror comics, I recommend it, but I'm not gonna get it. Phantasmagoria, I love it. I'm gonna pull it, and if I have enough money, I'm gonna get it. If not, I'll save it for later because really nobody else buys it but me. Kilchella issue number 2. There's a couple fails, and there's one. Pink Lemonade by Oni Press issue number 6. I'm going to get. Aftershock Bulls of Beacon, I'm going to skip. It looked lame. Eternus issue number 2, I'm going to get, or no, I'm not going to get because I didn't get number 1. It didn't show up to the shop, but I do recommend it. Nature's Labyrinth, I'm gonna skip. It wasn't really my thing. Canary number 5, I'm gonna skip, but it looks good enough. If you know about this, let me know. Warrant Publishing doesn't show up in my comic book shop. Ahoy Comics, my bad. I do recommend. It's very funny, very silly humor, and very good old-fashioned comedy. Red Shift by Scout Comics, I will recommend, but I'm not going to get myself. just due to lack of interest and lack of money. Sumerian Comics, The Firstborn, I'm going to skip it for now, but I do recommend. Opus Comics Hammerfall issue number 2. If you're into the metal comics thing, I do recommend it. Usually they do really good stories and great art. I just get there's so much, as you can see, that I'm already getting. It's ridiculous. This week is ridiculous. Oh my god. Sumerian Comics, The Purple Oblivion issue number 4. I didn't really like it, to be honest. It's not something that interests me. Mortuary, Clockwork Empire issue number 1 by Titan. I don't know if this is gonna show up, but there's the plans, Opium Den. It sounds good enough, but I don't know, the art's kind of throwing me off. I don't think I'm gonna dig it. Essentia by Wake, issue number 15. Yeah, issue number 15 by Wake Entertainment. So yeah, there's a couple of American Mythology production ones. There's Curly and Moe. Yeah, there pretty much isn't anything else that's going to show up on my comic book shop. But if you go to leagueofcomics.com, you can see all the ones that I skipped and see if they interest you. Black Clover is going to be showing up. But yeah, that's going to do it here for this thing of Picture This New Media. Thank you so much for watching, and Salam Alaikum. Have a great day.